Hello, beautiful people. How are you guys doing today? I hope everyone is doing okay. So, here again is Upstream Health with Ify. All right, so today I'm gonna be answering one of your questions. Someone asked, if I am pre diabetic, what am I to do? She said, the doctor didn't give me any medication, but I am pre diabetic. What am I to do? And she said, the doctor said, go watch what you eat. Make sure you don't eat carbohydrate, a lot of carbohydrate, a lot of sugar. But she felt the information she got was vague. So I'm gonna try to explain this to you. So remember, like we do in Upstream Health, you need to understand your body. If you understand your body, your human anatomy, how it works, how it reacts when it's diseased, then you'll be able to know how to take care of the body when something is going wrong, right? So if you haven't watched my last video about diabetes, the pathophysiology of diabetes, you need to go watch that so that you can be with us in this flow. Okay, so remember what I said. Diabetes is when is either the pancreas is not producing enough insulin, or it's producing insulin but your body is not taking it up, right? Or your body is insensitive to the insulin. Okay, so when you are pre-diabetic or you have insulin resistance, it means you are not diabetic, but you are at the border of switching to being diabetic. So you can actually switch back to a normal level blood glucose. So let me use the A1C as a marker of your insulin test, right? A normal A1C, remember when I talked about A1C, the lab technician is measuring the amount of hemoglobin attached to your glucose. So the hemoglobin A1C in a period of 3 months, right? So when that test is done for a normal healthy individual, your A1C should be below 5.7%. For a pre-diabetic individual, that is 5.7 to 6.4, and for someone who is already diabetic is usually 6.5 and above. Now, if you're pre-diabetic, you should know your number. Say you are 5.7, say you are 5.8, but below 6.5. You should be implementing healthy behaviors to take you back to the normal level, which is below 5.7, and that is doable. It's reasonable, it's achievable. So what are the things you're going to do? So this is not a one size fit for all. So you're going to find out your risk factors, the things you've been doing. Number one, are you overweight? Remember I told you if you're overweight, that's inflammation. Inflammation puts you at a risk for diabetes. So if you're overweight, you should be working on your weight. All right. If you have belly fat, you might not be overweight or you might not look on the big side, but if you have belly fat, metabolic syndrome, if you have uncontrolled high blood pressure, if you have your cholesterol levels above the normal level, you are at risk. So you should be working on your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your weight, the belly fat. You should be doing some sit up, press up to help with the belly fat. Then the big one is diet. The big one is diet. I know I did that. That helped me a lot to change my numbers from pre-diabetic to a normal level. So for diet, let's put it this way. I'm gonna explain. Let me make it easy for you, make it more practical. So remember, so breakfast has a huge part to play with this when it comes to your diet. What you eat in the morning is very, very important to controlling your blood glucose. For every normal individual, when you wake up in the morning, your blood glucose tends to be high because there are other chemicals in the body that is in play in the morning, like the growth hormone, the cortisol, that makes your blood glucose high. So when you wake up in the morning, you shouldn't be consuming high carbohydrate food. Okay? So when you wake up in the morning, you shouldn't be consuming sugar. Like some people get tea. I remember when growing up, we drink tea a lot with a lot of sugar, a lot of milk, a lot of bread. Oh my God, if you're in Africa and Nigeria precisely, we wake up in the morning with drinking tea, milk, sugar, remember the agege bread, and we have fried egg. All that, we're consuming all that. So let me tell you what's happening if that's what you're doing. So at that time, when you consume all that sugar, all that high carbohydrate food, frying the egg, put it in between the bread, and you think you're having a good life, or no, you are actually overburdening your pancreas, right? Your pancreas is the organ that makes the insulin. When you're pre-diabetic, you can be insulin resistant. It means because you have spiked your insulin and your sugar, your pancreas is now crying out for mercy and like, I cannot produce, I can't do this anymore. You're giving me too much sugar. Stop. And when you don't stop, there's what the body, because at that time when the insulin is very high, the sugar is high, when you're feeding it so much sugar in the morning, during the day, you find some things going on. You find you're tired, you want to sleep after eating. The blood sugar over time will begin to destroy your blood vessels. It affects the eye, it affects the kidney, it affects the nerves. So after some time, your body will want to resist the too much insulin, because when you have too much glucose or too much sugar or too much carbohydrate food in the morning, your body is producing insulin, high insulin spikes, so your body will want to resist that. So that's when we see insulin resistance, and then the person is shifting into diabetes. So if you catch it on time, like you know your number, oh, now I'm pre-diabetic, I need to start doing this. So switch over. So you switch your breakfast. Now that you know, for every normal individual, like I said, your blood glucose is usually high in the morning. So do not consume high carbohydrate food. Stay away from sugar. And then there is no need for you to fry your eggs. You can boil it, right? You can boil it. You can put it in the pot and boil it and enjoy your egg instead of frying. Remember, when you fry oils, you oxidize them and then you release free oxygen radicals in the body. Remember what I told you about free oxygen radicals? If you haven't watched that, go watch that video. Okay, so when you wake up in the morning, like for me, at that time when I find out I was pre-diabetic, I embarked on intermittent fasting. So what does that mean? It means when you wake up, you already know that your blood glucose, your body has already produced enough glucose for you to rise up and be energetic. You don't have to consume extra glucose or extra sugar. You don't have to have a heavy meal. Something very light. For me, I just make my tea, my green tea or some good tea. We have a lot of healthy teas out there. Lemon tea, hibiscus tea, ginger, turmeric tea. Very good. You make your tea, put in your flax, and up you go. You can put lemon water if you don't like the tea. You can make your water zesty, put some lemon, lime, whatever works for you. And you see that you're going to feel full until midday when you want to eat. For me, I break my fast around noon or 1. So that's what is called intermittent fasting. But what you eat when you break that fast is very important. So for me, I usually go for protein food, vegetables. I try to put my carbs very low. Remember, your vegetables have carbohydrate, and your goal is to stay away from high carbohydrate food, right? So when you do that, you're actually trying to help your pancreas rest. You're bypassing that source of glucose. Okay, because you know your body already has the liver producing glucose from fats and protein. So you don't want to bring in the excess glucose now that you are pre-diabetic. You want to depend on the liver in providing you the glucose you need. Remember, your brain needs glucose. So you don't want to bring in extra glucose. You want to depend on the liver to break down fats, to break down protein for you to get glucose. So what do? You switch up every external source of sugar and glucose, which you get from carbohydrate. So this way your pancreas is resting, all right, is resting, and you don't have spikes of insulin. So when you eat a low portion of food in the morning, or you embark on intermittent fasting, if that works for you, your pancreas is actually resting, and you don't face the risk of spiking insulin and sugar, and that damages your vessels. Okay, so if you're able to do the intermittent fasting, that's very, very healthy, and that's very advisable. You do that during the day. If you want to eat a carbohydrate food, make sure you're going for high complex carbohydrate with low glycemic index. What do I mean by low glycemic index? It means that when your body breaks down that food, it doesn't release a lot of it doesn't spike your blood glucose. It seeps slowly into the bloodstream. Imagine if you eat a bowl of white rice, you're gonna cause your glucose, your insulin to spike, because it will be like boom, boom into the blood. But if you eat high complex carbohydrate with high fiber, like let's say buckwheat, quinoa, and you put a lot of vegetables, your body is gonna seep in slowly into your blood and into the tissues. So that way you don't feel tired, you don't feel foggy, you don't feel the headaches you get when you have that high glucose spike. So that's one way. So when you do that, your pancreas adjusts, your body adjusts, and you find that you're gonna go back to a normal level of blood glucose level. Okay, so that being said, we're also gonna talk about so intermittent fasting, what you eat, which means you're switching off those high carbohydrate meals, going for protein food, vegetables, fruits, and fruits. Also, make sure you're not going for too sweet fruits. And if you're getting the fruit, just little. Let's talk about a sweet fruit like strawberry. That's good. No, let's talk about this fruit. What's this berry? A lot of berries that are sweet. You can take just little instead of a handful, maybe like 6 or 7 fruits. It's okay. All right, so make sure you're going for fruits that are not too sweet. Remember, you're on a journey. You're trying to switch back to having a normal blood glucose level, so everything should be in moderation. Go back and watch that video about high fiber diet. High fiber diet will help also in controlling your blood glucose. And then quickly, I'm going to answer this question here again. Somebody talked about, oh, how about in Africa where most of our meals are made with palm oil? Because for me, I love soup. I cook and I love soup. During the day also, in the evening, I just want to take my vegetable soup. We have the melon soup, egusi. I'll just take that with little oatmeal. That's one of the heavy meals I have in the evening. So if you cook with palm oil is actually good, but it depends on how you're having it and the quantity that you're having and where you're getting it from. So palm oil, I know, is very rich in I believe, very good in controlling your cholesterol level. But do not fry your palm oil. When you fry your palm oil or your oils, you're oxidizing your oils, and that is releasing free oxygen radicals. Remember when I talked to you guys about cancer and free oxygen radicals? If you haven't watched that video, you need to go watch it. So do not fry your palm oil. And your palm oil also, make sure it's not processed. Like for me, I love palm oil, but how I use it fresh from the nuts. I used to buy the oil from the store before, but I found that people add colorings, preservatives, stuff to keep it, congealed. But I found out buying the nuts would be better. So most of the time now, I don't even cook with palm oil because you use the bell pepper and your food is so good. Or you can use the olive oil. You don't need it. Sometimes you don't even need the palm oil. But if you must use it, little quantity, do not fry it, because palm oil, when you fry, like I said, releases chemicals that are harmful to your body. So I believe I answered that question. So you can still eat your palm oil, but make sure how you're preparing it is very healthy. And no frying, okay? There are very good ways to consume your oil. please do not fry your oils. So I hope I was able to answer some of your questions. If you have more questions, please go ask me in my Instagram page. Go text me over there, or you can ask it over here, okay, if that's okay with you. And I hope this helped. All right, so on your journey, once you're pre-diabetic, don't just sit and say, oh, I'm pre-diabetic, I don't have to do anything. No, don't forget, like I said, some damage has been done already with pre-diabetic, and you can reverse it by making healthy choices, some of which I explained on this video. Okay, and I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. And please keep the questions coming, and do have a blessed day. Please don't forget to like, to share, and put in your comments. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel so that we can continue to do great things in this channel. Okay, we learn or we lift others by sharing. Okay, so have a blessed day. Bye bye.